Good morning, everyone. Mike Johnson, JOHO Marketing, helping small businesses, professional services with digital marketing strategies. Today I wanted to talk about two things that I thought were helpful and kind of bringing you up to date a little bit more about some of the changes. How many people have a website currently? How many people have SSL? How many people know what SSL is? SSL, Secure Socket Layers. It's a protocol that protects websites from information being transferred from consumer to the website, from website to the consumer. Google on October 17th of 2017 came out with, if your website doesn't have SSL, they will stop sending traffic to your website because it's not secure. There's another one which is called HTTPS. I always trying to remember, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So when you see the HTTPS on your website or you'll see that S there which says it's a secure site. That's good. If you don't have it, Google will stop sending consumers to your site because they are concerned that there's a lot of people pirating websites, doing inappropriate things, and they're trying to protect you and the consumers that are out there that are trying to find these different sites. So it's not an expensive thing. Usually it's a $30, $40 add-on to your website through your internet website provider. But absolutely, if you don't have it, get it on your site as quickly as possible because you might not realize how much impact it's having on traffic that you're getting because Google is no longer sending you. When they did the prior algorithm, Panda, where it was if you didn't have a mobile-friendly website, a lot of people don't realize, all of a sudden I'm not getting any calls and I don't know why. And this is one of the reasons is because October they launched it. So it's something worth having if you're going to be maintaining a website. It doesn't matter whether you have a e-commerce back end or not. They're just saying if you don't have it on there, you're not going to get the traffic because they're just not going to provide it to you anymore because they're making sure that those consumers are not going to their information is being compromised. So that being said, that was one point that I wanted to bring to your attention. The second one is, so we've all been hearing a little bit about Facebook. And today I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about this transformation of Facebook and the protocol and how it's affecting small businesses. And all of us are small businesses, so important stuff. If you have Facebook, if you use Facebook for business, the game is completely just changed. If you're not aware of it, just look at your traffic and you'll realize that when you go in your feed on your Facebook page, you're seeing your friends, you're seeing people you know, you're seeing groups you're associated with, you're seeing information, but you're not seeing a lot of business advertisements anymore because they're moving them into a different structure and they're not providing that insight to you. They want you to feel good. They want you to enjoy life. They don't want you binging on information that's not necessarily making you a better or feel better. So it's all changing, and for small businesses, the point that I wanted to bring up is why does it matter to you? Even if you're running a Facebook campaign, there's a lot of businesses out there that run campaigns, and all of their business is done by Facebook. So if you're not aware of these changes and you don't know how to capture that new audience or bring back some of that consumer base that you may have lost because Google changed it, you need to know how to go about introducing yourself and reconnecting with those businesses. So what I did was I went online and did a little research and I captured a couple quick videos and I thought I'd share them with you. There's 1 minute and 4 minutes, so rather than spend a lot of time me giving you a talking head, I just thought I'd give you a perspective of what Facebook is saying about it and how they're looking at it. So if that sounds okay, I'm going to open this up and just share a couple quick ones with you.
People come to Facebook to connect with the people who matter to them. And over the next year, our team's mission is to help you have deeper, more meaningful interactions with people you care about. We use a process called ranking to determine which posts show up in your newsfeed and in what order, based on what we think you'll be most interested in. A like, comment, or share is one sign that a post matters to you, so posts you're likely to interact with generally get higher ranking scores. Now, we'll also consider whether a potential interaction is between two people or between a person and a page, which are the accounts run by businesses, organizations, and public figures. Person to person will be more valuable than person to page. Connections with people in your network will get the biggest boost because interacting with people you're close to is more meaningful. We're also going to prioritize exchanges that reflect more time and care.
Interacting with people, like having a conversation or reminiscing about things you've shared, is associated with a greater sense of well-being. And the benefits are even stronger when you're close to the person and when the interaction requires some effort. For example, typing out a long and thoughtful reply to a friend's post. On the other hand, just scrolling through your Facebook feed, passively reading or watching without interacting with others tends to make people feel worse.
Over time, we believe people will see more posts from people they're connected to and less content from publishers. We also expect overall time spent on Facebook to go down, but our goal is that the time people do spend on Facebook will be better. Facebook was built to connect you to the stories and people that matter most, so we're going to keep listening to you and working hard to make sure that's what you see every day.
So that's one, and I'm going to go one more. This one is a little bit more in depth. This is kind of the science and the philosophy behind how Facebook is considered and decided to move forward with this change.
People are often surprised to learn that we have a large group of researchers here at Facebook with backgrounds in fields like social psychology and communication and anthropology. Our jobs are to understand how Facebook affects people's lives and look for ways to make it better. I'm Maura Burke. I'm a research scientist here at Facebook, and my background is in well-being. So how our social relationships affect people's feelings of social support and happiness and loneliness. We run hundreds of interviews every year around the world in people's homes with the help of translators. And we look for large-scale quantitative patterns in the ways that people use Facebook, basically to understand what works well and what we can improve. A lot of people around the world wonder and worry about the effect of social technology on well-being. And that really matters to us at Facebook too. And so we do a lot to understand the existing scientific research and to conduct more. And what we find is that it's a lot like how you spend your time offline. It really depends on what you're doing online. Passively scrolling through stories about other people is a lot like watching TV. It can be entertaining and enjoyable, but it doesn't have strong social benefits. Instead, it's important to interact one-on-one with people that you care about. So writing a comment on a friend's post or sending each other messages, these are the kinds of actions that can boost well-being. It's a lot like being at a party. You can't just sit in the corner. You need to interact with people that you care about in order to have a meaningful experience. We use this research to better design Facebook to encourage people to interact one-on-one with friends and not just mindlessly scroll through stories. We regularly publish in the top scientific journals, and we collaborate with faculty and grad students. We want as many of the best minds thinking about these issues of how technology affects our lives. One of the professors that we work with regularly is Bob Kraut from Carnegie Mellon University. He's been studying how the internet affects people's lives for more than 25 years.
Well, it's hard to figure out what the impact of technology is on people's lives. In some of the earliest research that we did, most people were interacting with strangers online. And when they interacted with strangers, the consequence seemed to be that they were experiencing more stress, kind of loneliness, more depression. What's happened in the intervening years is that more and more of the people that you know and care about are now online. And when you do communicate with those people that you care about and have substantive conversations with them, then that seems to be associated with improvements in well-being. So there are a couple of problems with understanding the relationship between how people use social media and their well-being. The first issue is distinguishing mere association from causation. So I think the big problem is that most of the research on this topic is flawed. Almost all of it asks people how they're feeling right now and how much they've used kind of technology in the recent past. And with that kind of data, you can't distinguish whether use of technology is causing people to feel bad or whether people who feel bad are using technology more, perhaps to self-medicate. I think the second problem is an over-reliance on broad self-report measures of what people are doing online. In order to understand how use of technology is influencing people's lives, you need to have detailed information about exactly what they're doing online. And people just don't have the memory capability to tell you that kind of detail. The best research kind of handles this problem through experimentation, in which some people are assigned to use the internet for a period of time and other people are prevented from it, and then you're trying to compare people's well-being after these experiences, or research that uses longitudinal data collection, where you're measuring how they feel over periods of time and seeing how the use of technology leads to or is associated with changes in their feelings of loneliness or depression.
Facebook's mission is to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. To do that, we have to understand how Facebook affects people's lives and friendships. We're not just here to capture time from people mindlessly scrolling through stories and feeling lonely. That's not in anyone's best interest, because if you feel lonely, you won't come back. Instead, we use research to better inform the design of Facebook, to support the kinds of one-on-one interactions that people find meaningful in the long term.
So, and it's interesting, I don't know if you looked at your phone recently and opened up your Facebook application. So, one of the things that I try to ask people to do is look at Facebook's kind of, if you go to your online Facebook page on your phone and you look at the listings of how Facebook now presents and aligns the different categories, news feeds, friends and family, groups, you'll start realizing if you look at your feed, you'll see friends and family. If you want to see information about business or something else, you'll have to go into feeds. So it's a lot harder for you to communicate your message to the consumer that you used to do very easily through Facebook. And the only way that you're able to do that now is through methods like Facebook ads, Facebook boosting, getting more people to like your page. As they like your page, they become a part of your group, and then you get more engagement with those people. So the paradigm is shifted again. And like always, that's one of the things that you have to be aware of is it's not the same. It's continually evolving.
So I tried an ad this week just to boost a post for my page, and it did not show up on my personal feed, my news feed. So I had to go to my page and share it to get it to show up on my personal feed. Is that the way it's supposed to work?
Well, when you're posting something from your business, you're sharing and you're saying, you say a boost or a post?
I did I posted and then I boosted the post.
Okay, so when you're boosting it, you're going out from you saying, I want other people to see this. How many people in the demographic that I'm looking at can I go? If it's a 2-mile radius, 3-mile radius, 5-mile radius, I want to boost it so more people, more eyes are connected to the message. So you're normally not going to see that because you're sending it.
No.
Okay? But the other one is if you're running an ad and you're saying, I want to put an ad, whether it's a placement ad that shows up in the feed, when you're putting one of those ads out there, now Facebook's going to put that in because you paid for it. And as they put that ad in, the thing that you like to do is as people like something, like a boost, the next step is to go back in, and every person who liked the boost or the post, ask them to like your page. Because you can go in and say, who liked my boost? Or who liked my post? And then say, like my page. And if you went to a list of 50 people that liked your message and got 20 of them to like your page, you just increased your messaging mechanism capacity 20-fold, in addition to the extension of the amount of people that might look at their information. So it is changing. I think that it's a valuable message that, I think of Jim and Irene, I think you guys are doing a lot of work in sales via social media, and I'm sure that you're noticing this significant change in the patterns because of how this is all kind of transitioning. So that's what I had to say. I don't want to take any more time than I'm supposed to. Thank you. If that's any other questions, let me know. But I know a lot of people aren't aware how this is all affecting business, and small businesses are definitely going to be impacted. You have to think about things a little more strategically now. If I can help, let me know. There's my plug.
Thank you.
Or if you know anybody else.